God damn, bro. Man without love. 100 on my heart. Oh. Dude, that's the first time I ever heard the song in my life. Every day I wake up and I talk about geeks. See what I did there?
Segue.
Every day I wake up to talk geek for a sec. Hey, you already know.
Hey.
You already know. We back, baby. We in this house. We talking about that. You know, I don't know if you know from the song or the series. We up here on Moon Knight episode Trace 3. I don't know how to say 3 in French, but if you know 3 in French, you know, just trying to, you know, be what is it, bilingual?
I used to know it. Yeah, bilingual.
Trilingual. Trying to be trilingual up in here, but we're back at it. You know, here with our main men's Mark and Steven. And I do gotta say we don't even start off the episode with them. We start off the episode with fucking Layla.
That was weird. I didn't know what the hell was going on.
I don't know, but by what I was hearing, I mean, you kind of mentioned that like her father is, I guess, mentioned a lot throughout that one scene, the opening scene, and
yeah,
I think she was getting like fake passports to go to wherever.
Probably.
Mark
she
was.
seems like she's very adventurous, so I'm gonna assume that's what she was doing. I don't know. She said she was stealing from the Steelers, basically, which is cool.
giving it
admirable.
Which sounds like something that like a Nathan Drake thing would kind of do.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, sound kind of familiar. But
shout out Uncharted.
Shout out Uncharted, by the way.
But it was a little. I mean, I guess like it's supposed to. Was it really supposed to pour onto the episode? I didn't really feel like it did.
Maybe. Well, with the passports, maybe that's how Mark got his passport
From there.
Yeah,
from
like it's a fake
lady.
passport. Yeah, because apparently also kind of broke my theory where I said Mark moved there, like hiding from when he was trying to hide from being Mark. And he like left America or whatever. Well, Layla says like, she's like, yeah, he took on this new personality. Remember, she was telling that lady, she said took on a new name Steve, and he moved 20 minutes from where we used to live. So I think she was like they used to live together somewhere there in the UK.
So just by them saying it and how we already know, just really looking into the episode, it basically seems that instead of Mark being their personality, it really seems that Steven really is. Based on what we're looking at now.
Yeah. Seems like this is Steve, yeah.
Which still like is a mystery of how Steve really came to be then, but again, like we've said,
Sorry,
with the little ice shake over there, with the way that I guess we'll get more answers on episode 4, but it's really such a big like
they're hyping up this episode. Yeah, they're hyping it up. Said that there's a lot.
And if you heard what I said on episode 2, I thought it was gonna be something big towards like the MCU, but Brandon shut me down real quick, saying that it might just involve something in the show rather than the MCU as a whole. Right? That's what you said?
No, I think I said the opposite.
You did? I think you said it just has something to do with the show rather than what we saw the show.
No, I said I have a feeling like it would be, but I mean I want it to be for the whole MCU, but I feel like it's too soon to have to like rewrite, especially because they haven't even tied Moon Knight really into it yet. You know what I mean? As far as what his role is in
it's really weird how we haven't really seen gods really tied into the MCU that much. I mean, we've seen people portray themselves as wanting to be like known as gods. Shout out Thanos.
This is like actual gods, though. I mean, I guess Thor and Loki, like they're gods, but like I feel like that's a different kind of god. I don't know what the difference would be, but like
I guess talking about like mythical and Egyptian is different, I guess.
Yeah,
is
like
there really a difference between
more
that?
Cosmic, I guess, more dude,
Hold on, me and Brandon are gonna take a little selfie break real quick, Brandon. Alright. And we're back at it again. But yeah, no, I had saw a post on Instagram saying that, do you remember the in Black Panther, right in how they explain like Wakanda? There's like
goddess?
Yeah, there's a god. So apparently Khonshu and that god are related, apparently. But did we see them in that episode whenever they came into that whole court? Because I feel like that would have been a big part.
I feel like I thought I saw a panther statue as one of those gods. I don't even remember. Oh, Bast. Isn't that her name? I think that's... Forgive me if I said that wrong. I think it's Bast or Bast, however you say it. That's the god.
I'm gonna go along with Bast.
Yeah, that's the panther's name. I could have sworn I saw her in that little scene where they're in the court, but I don't know. I guess I could have been wrong. I highly doubt that's all of the gods. Like, just those 5 people. Those are probably like, because that would mean that person.
Everyone had a dentist appointment.
Yeah, everyone was just like, they just called off that day. The rest of the gods.
They were like, I'm chilling.
I guess it would have to mean that Boss would need to have an avatar. So is the Black Panther Boss avatar, or is it more so just they have a gift from that god?
Well, because in the Black Panther movie,
because they don't turn into the god.
No, yeah, they don't.
They just get powers.
Yeah, I mean, they meet him in that afterlife world or whatever. But
yeah.
Also, I mean, could it really be to the point where maybe they did have a chance to put Black Panther in it, but because of Chadwick Boseman not being with us anymore, do you think that could have been a possibility of why they didn't do that?
That would honestly, I feel like if he was still here, that would have been probably the best thing that they did. That would have broke probably some records.
Well, yeah,
if they had Chadwick walk in like that, that would have been crazy. But I see why they couldn't do it now, because obviously we haven't established a new Black Panther.
When is that movie even supposed to be coming out? Next year?
Either the end of this year, maybe.
No, I doubt it.
Because I know they finished filming.
They did?
I think so.
What the hell?
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I could have sworn they already wrapped.
I guess I totally missed that part.
Maybe it's the beginning of next year. That makes more sense.
We'll definitely get some answers soon on Black Panther, but also rest in power to Chadwick. We miss you. But yeah, that would have been a pretty big hit with the goddess part. So as we go into this episode, what did we leave off? We're in Egypt now.
Layla, yeah. But Mark has taken over. We're looking at Mark instead of
has officially taken over, basically.
The past few episodes have been Steven, but this one is kind of Mark's episode, and you can kind of see that.
I think they're really just trying to build up to really fucking with our minds to, I guess, whatever episode 4 is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But literally right off the bat, we do see some changes from Mark's perspective, like we saw in the first episode, because he runs into these, I guess I'm gonna say like goons / henchmen,
little petty thugs.
Yeah, where they just fuck with, like, where he just like basically fucks them over, but then he starts blanking out. I think like twice, right? He blanks out twice or 3 times or something. I think it's twice. But he then, like, whenever he blanks out the second time, he sees that he killed the thugs.
That's weird, because you would think Mark is doing that.
Yeah, and then I was like, wow, Steven really like broke out and did all that shit.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
But that wasn't the case, and then of course we see the scene where
he's talking to
Mark gets mad at Steven for like, what the fuck, and then Steven's like, no, like, you're tripping. That's not even me. Like, that's you. So there's a third personality.
There's a third personality that hasn't been introduced yet. That
does
those two don't
Khonshu know? Khonshu's probably gonna have to know then, right?
Maybe it is Khonshu.
Shit.
Maybe somehow Khonshu has figured out a way to like turn himself into.
And it's really trying to like fuck with us to being like, I don't know. Maybe Khonshu really is a bad guy, because even throughout the episode towards the end, we kind of see like, Arthur, even like keeps on like portraying out how bad a god Khonshu really is.
Arthur was heavy gaslighting this man Khonshu, bro.
No, this guy was getting fucked over big time. But again, like, I think this episode was really, really mysterious on how
it was. It left a lot of open things. Like, it's like, well, why?
And I really seem like all these the episodes we begin, we've been getting each like some answers between each episode, but we just still are just on cliffhanger after cliffhanger, which I really haven't seen a show like that really until like WandaVision, kind of. Would you agree with me on that? Because
WandaVision kind of felt like it was like a different show every episode. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I guess that's why we were like, well, what's the next episode?
Well, they really had a big build up for WandaVision, but for them to really like put all these cliffhangers within a 6-episode series is really crazy.
It's good though. I'm glad that they're doing it.
You know what I mean? I know you mentioned before you even started, you said you like this episode rather than episode 2, or did you like?
I think I like this one a little bit more. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't have a problem with any of the episodes, right? But I do think
it's a very good show.
I think mainly my roommate Josh kind of hyped him up way too much for me, because I gotta lie, I love Moon Knight. Like, I really like, not even just like the character. Also, like, I remember I used to, like I said in the first episode, I used to play with him in Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah.
But I think whenever, I don't know if it was the I don't know if it was the director from the show or Kevin Feige that said this is supposed to be the most violent show ever produced by Marvel or Disney Plus or something like that. And we've seen some gore, we've seen some blood. Even in this episode, we see he slaughtered those goons, but we really haven't seen anything.
It's not bloody, really.
Anything Daredevil or Punisher or any of the others.
Which those are on Disney Plus.
We've basically seen pretty much like MCU fighting. You know what I mean? Like just like the fights like that. And in my sense, maybe it's leaving my expectations down because I thought he said that it would have been more gruesome than like Daredevil and Punisher. But maybe he's just aiming towards, this is just the most violent show that Disney Plus has. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
So
most violent, probably like installment in the MCU.
In which, in my opinion, I don't think it's really that gory at all either. We've seen some sticky blood like here and there, but like it really hasn't got me like, oh, that's like awesome. You know, not saying that killing is awesome. I don't want to make it seem like that. But I mean,
like in the episode we see like Moon Knight gets fucking stabbed like a shit ton, with the spears.
I understand that
even that's not that bloody though. Like it literally just showed it.
I understand that because of him being like the god powers and all that stuff. But whenever he threw his moonerangs, see, we used it.
Moonerangs.
Whenever he used
slicing.
No, he was slicing. But where's the blood? Where's the gore?
I know.
Honestly, it was like basically like I was watching like fucking Black Widow fight. There's nothing wrong with Black Widow fighting.
Weird pause. No, you know what? I think it's just gonna get better because remember I was telling you about the Punisher thing? Mm-hmm. How like I'm gonna be real honest with you. I haven't seen Marvel's Punisher, like Punisher, that show.
The part
haven't seen it.
that Brandon's about to bring up, I like the way he was thinking, but I don't think that's the way he's gonna bring. But I would like Punisher to show up. But you can
if they do bring him in, maybe. Well, no, if it's the same. I don't know if I mentioned this in a previous episode. I think I had said in episode 1 that Punisher was gonna be the big tease for this one, for this show for Moon Knight. Since we had Kingpin and Hawkeye. We had Charlie Cox and Spider-Man. I think John Bernthal's Punisher is going to be the one for this one. And I was thinking that because I've been recently rewatching Daredevil. And in the scene, when Punisher's in the court, or when they're doing basically a backstory on the Punisher, he has a bullet hole in his head. And that's why they suspect that he's crazy in Daredevil. They think he's crazy. They talk about how he got the bullet hole in the head. He says he was shot in the back of the head. He was in the army. He was shot in the back of the head, execution style. Then in Moon Knight, whenever those fake cops pick him up in episode 2 of Moon Knight, whenever they pick up Mark or Steven and they talk about who he is, they're like, oh, well, he had a team back in, the Middle East, wherever he was stationed, and he shot his whole team in the back of the head, execution style. And that's just like, I was like, oh, well, maybe then Mark shot Frank Castle. Maybe if Frank Castle was on that team, I don't know. That was just a weird connection that I made. I thought it was weird that they used the same phrase, back of the head execution style, because
I'm gonna be honest too. I'm a little foggy on the Punisher series because I watched it whenever it first came out. Mm-hmm. So again, I like the way you're thinking, but if my memory is correct, I think it's someone else that shot Frank in the head. I may be wrong. I don't know if they ever showed it or not.
I highly doubt in the Punisher series they said it was Mark Stevens that shot him in the back of the head, but I don't know. Maybe they'll pull some type of shit where like it's a different Frank Castle. You know what I mean? This is like the MCU's Frank Castle. Maybe that one's a different one. But what I think for the next episode, as we saw at the end of this episode, which I hate to jump forward, but whatever, we're here. We saw Khonshu get sealed, right? And he leaves Mark. And Mark is he was already dying before Khonshu.
Yeah.
So now that Khonshu left, he's probably dying again. And he was dying in the desert when he found Khonshu originally. I'm going to assume he found Khonshu after he killed his whole team. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is while Mark is dying right now, he's going to be, while he's in his like coma or whatever, he's going to be dreaming and he's going to get a flashback to that one. So I think episode 4, since they're hyping this one up about what it's going to do with shit that you've seen in the past, I think they're going to start off and it's a flashback
You're
of
really
him in the
thinking
desert.
They're like really deep into it.
Yeah, I think since it's it would be like a good parallel. You know what I mean? He was dying to get Khonshu when he found
so
Khonshu.
You think that
so I think now that he's
Mark
dying again,
is going to be dying right now when we come back.
Yeah, and he's in a coma. Well, because Khonshu left him. and he was dying before. Khonshu was the only thing keeping him alive, right? So he's gonna, in the next episode, I think it's gonna start off with like a flashback of him back in the desert when he kills his whole team or whatever. And I think one of them is gonna be Frank, and then that's gonna be our introduction into.
It's a little good theory that I like to you. But before I actually want to keep on talking about it, but before we keep on going, we're gonna take a little podcast shout out to our boy CD, aka VTG 5 ever. Yeah. Brandon, he just said that Oklahoma shirt is an extra large. I love oversized clothes. So that might be a cop. But also, you should cop many of the other items that he does. VTG5 Ever on Instagram. He has all your vintage needs that you want, and especially the best drip around. He does deliveries, but he's also located in San Antonio majority of the times during the school year. Also, he will be in Houston, Texas, his hometown. So hit him up again. His @ is @VTG5 Ever. We love you, Chris. Thank you so much for all the drip that you've been giving us so far, and
I've already bought a couple things.
I bought a lot of things.
I'm gonna keep buying some more. I'll be honest.
So make sure to hit him up. All right, back to the episode. So this is what my opinion. I think
that's my theory is.
But I think again. Okay, before we even get into this, because I think we kind of like just depending on people. I know a few people know what we're talking about, but just in case people were lost, there's a point in the episode where they after this big fight scene at like I guess this dude that collects a whole bunch of Egyptian shit.
Yeah, I was really confused about who that guy was.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he was just like a side ass character or whatever. Great. Again, even though it's not gory as I wish it would be, it's still good fighting scenes. I think or whatever. But there's a tomb that they went to, and there's a map where it basically just looks like constellations where they connect. After that, they get the map and they go to like the middle of the desert because they're trying to find what's the tomb's name? Amit. Trying to find Amit's tomb because Arthur's supposedly already there because he already found it with the scarab that they had. Once they finally get there, Mark's kind of like trying to figure out what the constellations mean, how they do it or whatever, and Leia's basically saying, "Hey, let Steven do this. Steven knows what the fuck he's doing." And he's like, fuck it, fine. Like, let Steven do it. Mm-hmm. Kind of cool how.
I like how
constellations of star. He says something about it that mentions it. I just forgot what he said.
Yeah.
But like I like how he made the little star. Like
he made the star.
Yeah, that was kind of cute. Like I thought it was cute and funny.
He mapped it out. Yeah, that was really cool.
So they were like, they're trying to find this constellations. Like, these constellations don't exist, and then like, I mean, this happened like thousands of years ago and stuff like that. And Khonshu's in the background, like, I remember that night. I remember every night. No, like Loku, like damn, that was looking kind of scary, bro. That was deep as fuck.
Sounded like Thanos.
No, yeah.
I remember everything. God.
So whenever we finally see some power to like Moon Knight, which we really don't see at all because we just see he's more of just like a Street Fighter type
brawler type guy.
But he's able to move the constellations.
That was cool.
So that was a really trippy scene. Like he was moving. Even like Khonshu's power, even whenever he's saying like, we're not gonna be able to take Arthur out. We need to summon like the gods, and he goes into the moon and makes an eclipse. Like, dude, now we're seeing some god power. Yeah. So, before I get into like the main thing about what you were talking about, a question I want to say is, do you think that maybe later on in the series we'll still have a Street Fighter Moon Knight, or do you think we'll have a Moon Knight with some powers?
In the comics, he's just a Street Fighter, right?
Yeah, I know, but you know how MCU is. MCU can do whatever the fuck they want. If anything, they could make a big finale of just like him using shit ton of moon power, you know?
I don't think he's gonna have moon power. I think Mark is gonna know that he has that kind of power, but I think he's gonna use it to fight because I think Mark just likes to fight.
Yeah,
that's really it. So I think even if he has power to fucking manipulate whatever moon spirit, whatever the hell, I think he's just gonna rather fight.
What I also liked about it is that whenever Mark's in power, he turns into the robe. Mm-hmm. But whenever now we see Steven, but Steven goes into the suit. But I don't think that's how it works in the comics, right? It seemed like he
literally just changed.
He just changed to be more of a sophisticated Moon Knight. But now it's just like, if you're Steven, you're what is his name? Mr. Knight. Mr. Knight.
Yeah. What I really like though is that they're getting more comfortable with switching.
Yeah, like they're finally kind of get the
they're
trust.
Switching a lot easier too. Like I thought it was really funny whenever Mark was like, he was getting beat the fuck up, and then Steve came out, and then he was like, no, Mark, come back, and then he just switches.
He's like, everyone, calm down,
calm down, and then he
started freaking out. But no, okay. Now that we're finally back to that constellation part, whenever you said that, we knew that if Khonshu overused his power one more time, the gods were gonna ban him. That scene was actually kind of funny. Whenever they had all the gods, like Khonshu, like it was the first time like Khonshu used the body of like Mark to control. He's just yelling out of his fucking, and all these other gods are just like
they're just talking
normally, like what the fuck,
like,
and then.
So Khonshu really.
But what I liked about that is how Mark's never experienced that before, and every time he comes out, he's like, he's like, what the fuck, bro?
Oh my god, that is a great scene.
So whenever he comes out and Steven's still in charge, he's telling them, Steven, just follow my hands and doing all that stuff. Whenever he's slowly starting to get the power stripped away from him, I don't think that it's going to turn back to Mark dying. I believe that the Khonshu was just officially out of him, and that next episode is going to be them trying to find Khonshu. But I think it's going to come to the point where Mark has a decision that like, whoa, Khonshu's trapped. I have my life back. He's well, except for like the personality switches, you know.
He's probably going to be like, should I even save Khonshu?
Exactly. So I think that's how it's going to go.
I see what you're saying.
But I mean, I like yours. It's just
I don't think
it's
dying.
a possibility.
No, I think right now he's in like a comatose.
Or they could do a thing where he
They
talks
could
to
do both.
Khonshu and be like, "Hey, if you don't have me, you're gonna die soon." Maybe something like that. Like maybe like you're already on the brink of death.
Like maybe Khonshu will visit him in like some spiritual
world. Maybe.
And then he's gonna be like,
"Hey,
Mark."
like,
He's gonna say, "Mark, save me." And Mark's like, "I'm good." And Khonshu's gonna be, "Please." Khonshu's like,
"Come get me now,
please."
please.
I'm trapped, bro. I'm so bored. And then Mark's gonna be like, "What's in it for me, though?" And then you never know. Or they could do both. Maybe while he's, I think right now, Mark is just stunned. Obviously, he's not dying. Like, he's not gonna die because I mean, Layla doesn't even know where the fuck the stone is.
Or what?
Free him.
Or here's another theory. I know you guys love theories.
This is what we do here.
What if Mark actually is dying, and Layla's the one that has to go and get Khonshu, and Khonshu isn't Layla? They finally meet up, and Mark's like, "No, bro, like give me, like take me instead of her, like you know."
Like she's gonna get Khonshu.
She's gonna become Moon Knight. There is a possibility where that could possibly happen because Khonshu's pretty obsessed with Layla, and we actually see a little action of Layla in that fight scene.
She was kind of doing it. She was getting bodied at first.
But then she had that little necklace where she just like that was pretty cheap. She was got there, and then she got bodied, of course. But like,
she got bodied.
But you see that she has the knowledge of the Egyptians, but also she has a little bit of combat in her too. So I kind of see where but like Khonshu, of course, has Mark for the combat, and then he has two personalities. One's like, but like you kind of like, why would you want to go switch back and forth when you can have one? You know,
there's no like. And there's no possibility of a third. Khonshu doesn't mention a third, but if there's just this third personality, now he's got to worry about
balancing every single one of them.
Yeah.
And I'm really intrigued to see who this third one is. Could it be the taxi driver? We've been talking about this fucking taxi driver for like the past 2 episodes. Like
we haven't seen him, but I want to see him.
This guy.
We saw him in the back of a taxi.
You know what I didn't even think of?
What's up?
There is, do you remember,
No.
I hate you, do you remember at the beginning before Moon Knight released that there was a passing away of one of the cast members and he was supposed to play, like, the dark Moon Knight dude?
No.
You don't remember that?
I remember the passing,
he was supposed
I
to
didn't
play,
know who he was supposed to be.
Yeah, he was supposed to, so if we look at...
While you look that up, you know what? I forgot to tell you. You know the QR code thing?
Yeah, what about it?
Did I ever send you another one that I saw on like Instagram?
Mm-mm.
Well, apparently there's a few QR codes.
Okay.
And apparently one of them, it has the QR code on like the wall, and then there's like in one of the scenes, I think they're in the museum, and there's a glass display, and the QR code is reflected in the glass.
So you found another one.
So people have been. I saw it on Instagram. Someone took a picture of the reflected one, and the reflected QR code took them to a comic, but it wasn't a Moon Knight comic. I forgot what comic it was, but it was basically the first appearance of Blade.
What the hell?
Yeah.
So
I have to tell you that. So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe
Blade comes in?
We could get Blade. We could get Punisher. I think those are the two.
Well, Blade.
I really am hoping it's the Punisher.
Maybe use a whole team up with the Knights because if we remember from
saying.
the Eternals,
Exactly,
we have
him.
the what's his name, the Dark Knight? No,
The Black Knight.
the Black Knight, Moon Knight, Blade team up, Punisher. Damn, it could be something.
Dude.
Yeah,
they
look,
could be teaming up for that. Yeah.
Even whenever I typed in Blade Moon Knight while you were saying that, and I was really trying to type in Black Moon Knight. You fucking dickhole! I was trying to figure out how to fucking do this shit. You made me.
My fault.
You were typing in my head. Yeah, look, there's like a Black Moon Knight in this. I forgot what the hell his name is, but I know that they had mentioned that
Anti-Knight.
there was a passing of a guy.
I remember the passing of him. Yeah.
Moon Knight cast member. My letters aren't working.
Sorry if it looks like I'm chugging this drink. I am so thirsty right now.
It's a little. Wait, was this the guy that passed?
Mm-hmm.
So the guy that we saw with all the Egyptian stuff, that's him.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
That's him. So
That's
he's the one that passed.
So he shot that scene. Yeah.
I thought he was supposed to play a bigger character or something.
Maybe
like
he
that.
did because he passed. I think after they had finished. So he could still have all his scenes. So we could still see him, but.
I forgot what
I could be wrong about that.
I forgot what character it was.
I don't think...
Rest in peace to Gaspard Ulili.
Uliad?
Yeah.
Uliel.
Yeah, shout out to him. We saw him for like a bit, but I mean, it really didn't seem like he played a big part.
Because I don't think he passed away like mid-filming. I think they were done with the show already. Yeah.
They were just doing the
So
editing
he could
and
still
stuff
have
like
all his scenes. He could still have a future.
He could pop up.
I mean, Moon Knight did just stab him in the back, and then he
just rode off
away.
No, wait, no. Remember, he threw the thing at.
Yeah, it just hit him, but he like kept going.
I guess what
into
I don't know.
Like wherever.
That would be kind of sucky. If that's
it just hit him in the
off
back.
the show,
Yeah,
you know?
that would be like.
That would be like, oh, we never saw him again. So I guess he basically did die in that shit. Oh man.
I think we're gonna get Blade and.
I
think we're gonna get Blade and Punisher. I'll be quite honest. I don't think we're gonna see the Punisher. I just think that's gonna be the reference.
So we could potentially.
I think we're gonna see him shoot John Bernthal. And we're gonna be like.
We could potentially have a future team up along the way. What team up would that be? We talked about this before.
It just makes more sense.
We talked about this before. What was the team up again? Remember, because they actually have a team up.
Have a team.
It's the Street, right? No, Street something.
It's not the Street.
I thought it was Street something, or what are they called?
Just look up Moon Knight team.
Moon Knight team. And again, my letters are not working.
This guy does not know how to spell.
If anyone wants to help me and pay for a new HP,
your E doesn't work.
My E is working, but there we go. We're on to something, ladies and gentlemen. Moon Knight team. It's called. I don't know what it's called.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, keep that shit going. Yeah, okay, that definitely did not find it. If you guys know exactly what the team is, please let us know what. Brandon, shut the fuck up.
Listen, man, find what you're looking for.
The Marvel Knights? I don't know.
Team with.
If you guys know exactly, if we can't find it, then we definitely don't know where it's at. So please let us know if you do. Leave it in the comments below on this YouTube channel.
See, Midnight Suns.
Midnight Suns. There you go. Never mind. We found it.
Stupid.
Sorry. I guess I gotta reboot my fucking laptop. Anyways, that's probably what we're potentially gonna end up to. But I'm pretty sure we won't see it until maybe episode 4, or even towards the end of the series. You know.
Yeah.
So.
I know what you're saying.
Overall, I guess like we're already kind of getting into. We kind of covered basically everything of what's going on. It wasn't like that big of an episode where we didn't really need to cover a lot of stuff. But I would say this episode was, I don't know, again, I'm not disappointed with anything that they're doing. It's just, I thought it would be more than what I thought. And I know for a fact, I'm kind of glad that my roommate Josh isn't here because I know he'd probably jump on my ass about this because he just goes like on and a rambling about what freaking, what Moon Knight is and all that stuff. But I'm going to let it be. The show's doing well so far. In my opinion, I know we did say that it might be the best Disney show that Disney Plus gets, but it's getting close to where it could be in par with any of these other ones. Because I mean, if anything, I still think Loki is the best Disney Plus show that we've gotten. All right, asshole.
No, I'm just kidding. Loki's good. I really like it.
But I mean, who knows? We still have 3 more episodes, and then we'll see exactly where we take flight with past characters, and we'll potentially see if. Moon Knight or Oscar Isaac really becomes a bigger part in the MCU later on.
Yeah.
Sound good with you?
Sounds pretty good. Sorry, I was looking at this article talking about John Bernthal coming into Moon Knight.
He's just sucking off John Bernthal.
It's gonna happen. I don't know why. I don't even need to.
You know what's funny is how you mentioned that there was actually on Instagram a picture of. Do you ever see that interaction with the Punisher and Moon Knight was like, "Hey, Mark, you still
crazy?" He's like,
"You're still crazy," and he's like, "You're still praising your false god." It's like, "How's your dead family?" Like, bro, if I heard someone say that, like, I'd be like, "No,
that fight would be crazy."
No, for real, right?
That fight would be crazy.
Just fucking imagine that happened to show John Bernthal just fucking yelling his fucking lungs out, and then Moon Knight just like, okay.
I can see it happening. I can see them fighting, honestly.
But I guess we'll never know. Nah, I'm just kidding. I guess we'll know sometime soon.
We're gonna know next Friday when they show John Bernthal.
And yeah, so stay tuned for that episode. Thank you again for joining us. Again, episode 4 is supposed to be the big one of Moon Knight, and we'll definitely see what it holds for the future of the MCU. Just do want to make a quick announcement. Brandon and I will be taking a break this weekend for Easter. So everyone, happy Easter. I hope you guys
everybody.
Hope you guys have a blessed one as well. Spend time with your families, and if you have a chance to show your family, show them us. Have a fun time at Easter listening to.
Tell them you guys have been listening to this new Geek podcast that came out this year.
They're gonna be like, what is that?
What is a Geek podcast? What is that? It's us.
It's us. No, it's if you ever listen to Coffin by Lil Yachty, that's where it's from. It's us, and you just like a beat. Just okay, whatever. Fuck it. I'll show Brandon afterwards.
We'll watch it afterwards. My bad.
But again, we appreciate the support. We definitely will be back with the next episode of Moon Knight, episode 4. You know, we love y'all so much. I'm glad that you're still continuing us with this journey. This episode's a little bit shorter than the other ones, of course. Like I think that's how it'll be with like some of our episode breakdowns. If it's something big that we like to cover, we'll kind of drag it on just a bit. But, you know, I hope you guys still love listening to something short because we don't want to consume your day all the time. So short and sweet. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's never that bad. Coming soon, I just do want to make an announcement that we do have a logo coming soon. I did develop something. I was in class.
He had a rough draft. And I saw it.
I was in my class and the professor was teaching, but what was I doing? I was doodling. It was a sick drawing. What'd you say?
You thought that shit would leave in high school.
Yeah, but it continues in college.
We're in college doodling while the teacher is teaching.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I think. Was it cute?
Bro.
But yeah, so we'll see that soon. Hopefully more designs for us coming soon and more editing, extra videos, all this other stuff will be coming soon for y'all. So just wait, ladies and gentlemen. We will have that very, very soon. We're making something big out of this.
If any of you know any graphic designers, just slide us a little ad.
If you want to, man.
You know,
hey,
we got some friends.
We are willing to give you some ka-ching, you know?
We do pay.
We do drop mans because this is something we're building and we want to make it expand. And we're talking about MCU expand.
That's what I'm saying. We're gonna make a whole universe here. You thought it was just
a podcast?
It was just us.
It's us. See, it'll catch on. But as always, we love y'all. Peace, love, and positivity. As always, I've been Nene.
And I've been Brandon.
This is Let's Talk Geek for a sec, and we just geeked over Moon Knight.
Woo!
We love y'all. Peace. Let's try that over.
Are you fucking up right now?
Hold up.
Okay, mom.
Hold up. You gotta admit, that sounds kind of hard.